Okay guys, so you just brought that little car home, tried to start it, put some gas in it, and it won't fire because you have no spark. You get on the internet and everybody tells you to clean the points, and you're not exactly sure how or what to do. So I'll show you what to do. First thing we got to do is get this cover off. So let's get that done. There's 3 screws, 2 in the bottom, 1 on the top in the head. So we'll get those off. This is where you clean out the wasp nests and the birds and the mice leave nests. This is where you find all that. So this is your ratchet. And when you pull on your rope, this is what actually locks up to turn the engine over. So we need to remove that. Let's get that off of there. All right, now a lot of people, if you don't have the proper tools, will tell you to jam the flywheel, because this ratcheting clutch actually doubles as the nut to hold the flywheel on. So if you put a screwdriver in there, that will lock it up. One of the worst things you can do is put a screwdriver on there and wail on it with a hammer. You break these ears off. Not a great idea. If you don't have the proper tools, go with the pipe wrench. You get a better bite on that. You got a lot less chance of breaking those ears off. Best case is to get the tool from Briggs that goes on there, and the wrench, and that will allow you to properly get the flywheel off of there without damaging anything. That comes off. A little washer here, which is not so little. And if you look in the back, on the back side, you'll see that the back side of the flywheel is accessible. So that's what we're going to do. Get your hammer on the back side. Just give it about 3 taps. Oh, came right off. If it doesn't, rotate it 180 degrees. Give it 3 more taps. I've never gotten to 6. And if it's still stubborn, go 90. Tap it a couple times and go on another 180. So you've hit it on all 4 corners. And it'll be... I've never had one go more than 6 taps. Grab your keyway. And now your points are right behind this cover. And there they are. So if you look, right there is where your point gap is. So you want to clean the points on here. There's a little button on there. And also the top of the condenser where it makes contact. You want both of those surfaces to be very clean. So you want to turn the engine over until the points close. There they open. And now they're closed. So grab you a piece of sandpaper, lift the points up, put that paper in there, and give them a rub. Take a little peek, make sure everything's nice and clean, nothing's dark or colored or oxidized, or just nice and clean. And then put her back together. I put my keyway straight up. Usually makes it a little easier to get your key in there. Align the key in there. Now this key they give you from Briggs is aluminum. Do not put a steel key in there. Always use the factory provided aluminum, so that if there's a problem, it'll shear and not damage the crankshaft or the flywheel. Now this washer is called a Belleville washer, and it's bowed. So you always want the bow coming out away from the engine. We call them spring washers, Belleville washers. There's 100 different names for them. I've always called them Belleville washers. Together. Now we could put a tester on it. Move the spin of the engine over. And now we have spark. Okay, so you've decided I'm going to keep this engine. I want to make it right, put it back on my car. So I want to put some new points in it. So I've got to take everything back apart again. All right, now we're going to strip the old points out. So we'll take the clamp off of the condenser. Pull the condenser out. You'll see some sealant here. If you cannot break that, then you don't have to reseal it. But if you do, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. You can always put a little silicone caulk or some RTV on there. Just keeps the moisture and the water out. Points come right out. You'll notice a little plunger in here. That comes out. And then in the points kit that they give you, and there's your part number right there, they give you this little plastic cap. And what that's for is to put on top of those breaker points, and it lets you compress the spring and pull the wire out So the kit comes with the new spring, new condenser. You can put that on right away. I like to use the old springs, and I don't know why. All right. So the new condenser's on the old wire. That's in place. Now the new points come with the new plunger. And if you look at the plunger, you'll see a groove on one end. That groove points up. I'm putting the old one back in, and you want to make sure that moves freely, very easily. Got our new points here. And now you'll see this groove, and there's a tab inside that hole. So when you screw that in, it will stay clocked the way it should be. Okay, so now that will not rotate. Okay, so this is screwed in. Wire comes up over the top, and we'll get our spring on. Spring comes through the larger hole in the back, in the bottom, just like you see there. Wire comes over the top. Then I'm going to hook that on there and spring it on into the groove. Okay, we'll get a 20 thousandths feeler gauge, put it in the gap, and we'll just slide this condenser up until we get a 20 thousandths gap, and tighten her up. Perfect. Then we'll get our cover back on. Now we're good. Now we got to check the clearance between the coil and the flywheel on both sides, just to make sure it's still good, or is good. You never know what somebody did ahead of you. Well, that's good. I just wanted to mention that if the clearance between the coil and the flywheel is not good and you need to reset it, you can loosen up these 4 bolts that hold the coil into the engine, and it will slide up and down and allow you to adjust the clearance. You want about 8 to 12 thousandths of an inch between the two. And the cover goes on after you get the bird's nests and the mouse nests and wasp nests out. And away you go, ready to go. Now you can work on something else like your carburetor or whatever needs to be done and get that Model T back on the road.